We've seen phenomenal prospects before. We witnessed LeBron James being crowned the chosen one while still in high school. We watched Kevin Durant redefine what a 7-footer could do, but Victor Wembanyama, he was different. Even before he stepped onto an NBA court, he was labeled the alien. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver saw it coming. The league even took unprecedented steps, warning teams about tanking for the 2023 draft. Why? Because everyone knew this wasn't just another top prospect. This was, in Silver's words, a once-in-a-generation player. But in the unforgiving world of the NBA, sometimes even extraordinary numbers aren't good enough. This is Victor Wembanyama's story, where being great isn't good enough. When LeBron James entered the NBA in 2003, many thought we'd never see another prospect generate such unprecedented hype. Then came Victor Wembanyama. At 7'5" with an otherworldly 8-foot wingspan, he arrived in San Antonio carrying expectations that would crush most mortals. His rookie numbers tell an impressive story: 21.4 points, 10.6 rebounds, and a league-leading 3.6 blocks per game. In any other era, with any other player, these statistics would be cause for universal celebration. But Wembanyama isn't just any player, and these aren't just any expectations. The challenge lies in the peculiar space between excellence and transcendence. When NBA Commissioner Adam Silver takes the extraordinary step of warning teams about tanking for your draft rights, when LeBron James calls you an alien rather than a mere unicorn, when basketball analysts run out of historical comparisons, good numbers simply aren't good enough. The San Antonio Spurs' dismal record during his rookie season, 22-60, cast a shadow over his individual achievements, raising uncomfortable questions about the correlation between statistical excellence and winning basketball. Consider this paradox for me. Wembanyama's rookie numbers surpass those of Tim Duncan, David Robinson, and many other legendary big men. Yet, unlike those predecessors, his impact hasn't immediately translated to team success. It's a reminder that in the NBA, individual brilliance without team elevation is like a beautiful painting in a darkened room. Impressive, but ultimately not serving its full purpose. The expectations weren't just about numbers. They were about transforming a franchise, about being the heir to the Duncan Robinson legacy in San Antonio. When your rookie season includes becoming the youngest player ever to record a 2020 game and the first rookie to make the all-defensive first team, and these achievements somehow feel like they're not enough, that's the weight of generational expectations. It's a burden that even Wembanyama's 8-foot wingspan struggles to fully shoulder. But perhaps nowhere is the gap between expectation and reality more evident than in Wembanyama's evolving offensive game. While his overall numbers spark awe, it's his shot selection that has become the most fascinating and controversial aspect of his development. The evolution of the modern NBA has created a fascinating conundrum for tall players: the pressure to develop a three-point shot while maintaining traditional big man dominance. For Wembanyama, or Wemby, this balancing act has become particularly scrutinized. His three-point attempts have skyrocketed from 5.5 per game in his rookie year to 8.3 in his sophomore season, a number that would have been unthinkable for a 7-footer just a decade ago. Let's dive deeper into the numbers because they tell a story of both innovation and inefficiency. Early in the 2023-24 season, Wembanyama was shooting a troubling 22.6% from beyond the arc. While he improved to 32.5%, this figure still falls below the league average of 35.6%. The volume of these attempts becomes more concerning when we examine his shot distribution. Only 34.3% of his shots came from the paint this season, a dramatic decrease from 50.7% during his rookie year. This shift in shot selection presents a fascinating statistical paradox. Wembanyama converts an impressive 72.8% of his paint shots, a figure that would rank among the NBA's elite, yet he's choosing to take fewer of these high percentage shots in favor of three-pointers that he makes at a below-average rate. The analytics community has been particularly vocal about this disparity, pointing out that this shot selection could be leaving as many as 3 to 4 points per game on the table. The broader question isn't just about efficiency, it's about identity. Is Wembanyama revolutionizing the center position, or is he sacrificing his natural advantages in pursuit of a trend? When you can shoot over virtually any defender in the paint, should you be taking 8 3-pointers per game? Yet, these questions about shot selection point to a deeper, more fundamental challenge. While Wembanyama's perimeter game may be a choice, his physical limitations present obstacles that no amount of skill can fully overcome. Despite his towering height, his inability to maintain position against stronger players has created a fascinating dichotomy, a giant who can sometimes be pushed around by players a foot shorter. The numbers tell a revealing story. In post-up situations, Wembanyama scores 108 points per 100 possessions, a respectable figure that masks a deeper issue. He's only able to establish post position on 11.2% of his possessions, down from 14.7% during his rookie year. This decrease isn't just about strategy, it's about physicality. Defenders have learned that despite his height advantage, they can disrupt his rhythm by bodying him off his spots. His injury history adds another layer of concern. The timeline reads like a medical chart: stress fracture in his fibula, fractured finger, bone bruise in his shoulder, all before reaching the NBA. While none of these injuries were career-threatening, they form a pattern that's impossible to ignore. The Spurs' careful management of his minutes, averaging under 30 per game, reflects this reality, but it also raises questions about his ability to handle the NBA's grueling schedule. The physical limitations manifest most clearly in specific game situations. When matched against traditional centers like Nikola Jokic or Joel Embiid, Wembanyama's shot-blocking prowess, 3.6 per game, can be neutralized by their ability to simply overpower him. His defensive rebounding percentage is good, but not elite, another area where his height advantage is sometimes negated by stronger opponents. These physical challenges, however, are just one piece of a larger developmental puzzle. For all his natural gifts, Wembanyama's journey from statistical marvel to transformative NBA force requires more than just physical maturation. His decision-making, while improving, still shows the inconsistency of youth. The turnover numbers are particularly telling, 3.4 per game, with many coming from ambitious plays that reflect both his extraordinary vision and his still developing judgment. Efficiency metrics paint a complex picture. His true shooting percentage of 59.7% is solid but not spectacular, especially considering his physical advantages. The advanced analytics reveal interesting patterns. He's elite in transition but struggles in half-court sets when defenses are set. This disparity suggests that while his raw talent is undeniable, his ability to excel within structured offensive systems remains a work in progress. The question of team impact looms large. The Spurs' continued struggles raise uncomfortable questions about his ability to elevate those around him. While it's unfair to expect a young player to single-handedly transform a rebuilding team, the greatest players in NBA history, from Magic Johnson to Tim Duncan, showed an early knack for making their teammates better. Wembanyama's assist percentage at 16.2% hints at playmaking potential, but his impact on team offensive rating remains neutral at best. As we look to the future, Wembanyama's trajectory presents one of the most intriguing narratives in basketball. His recent 50-point explosion against the Wizards, including 8 3-pointers, offered a glimpse of his ceiling. But the gap between these spectacular moments and consistent dominance remains significant. The development priorities are clear but challenging. First, there's the physical transformation, adding strength without sacrificing the fluidity that makes him special. History offers few blueprints for this process. Traditional bulk-up programs might compromise the very qualities that make him unique. Second, there's the tactical evolution, finding the optimal balance between perimeter skills and interior dominance. His shot selection needs refinement, but completely abandoning his perimeter game would be a mistake. The numbers suggest both progress and areas for growth. His improvement from deep shows his ability to adapt. His blocking numbers demonstrate elite defensive potential, but the next step, becoming a player who's consistently controlling the game rather than just influencing them, requires more than statistical improvement. It requires a synthesis of his unique talents into a coherent, dominating style of play. The NBA has never seen a player quite like Wembanyama, which makes his development both fascinating and unpredictable. Traditional development metrics don't fully apply to a 7'5" player who can handle like a guard and block shots like prime Dikembe Mutombo. His ceiling might be higher than any player in history, but the path to reaching it is anything but clear. This analysis of Wembanyama reminds us that in the NBA, being extraordinary isn't always enough. The gap between potential and reality can be both the most exciting and most frustrating aspect of player development. As we watch his journey unfold, the question isn't whether Wembanyama will be good. He already is. The question is whether he can transform from a statistical marvel into a transformative force that reshapes how basketball is played. But hey, that's just my take. What do you think? Can Wemby live up to the hype? What aspects of his game need the most work? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're always breaking down the biggest stories and trends in the NBA, and you don't want to miss our future videos. And hey, while you're at it, smash that bell icon too. That way you'll be notified as soon as we drop new content, and trust me, with how quickly things change in the NBA, you're going to want to stay up to date. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next time.